Hello, EL Physics students. Mr. Thrasher here. I hope you are doing well. Mr. Thrasher misses all of you. In this video, we are going to look at the answers to that sound practice homework. Right here. You should have completed that last week. If you have your paper, maybe you wrote your answers on a separate piece of paper. You might want to find that paper because we're going to look at the answers. If you did the homework, this should be nice and easy. If you did not do the homework, you can still practice by watching this video so we can check our answers. Make sure we have correct answers, okay? So we will go through each of these questions. Here's question number 1. It's a math question. It says, what is the wavelength of a sound wave that's 246 hertz? Here were my 3 different equations. This is if I want to calculate frequency. This is if I want to calculate speed. And right here, this is what I want to calculate or what I want to use if I want to calculate wavelength. So this question, what is the wavelength of sound waves? That's 246 hertz. The equation. Which equation do I want? Do I want to calculate frequency, speed, or wavelength? I want to calculate wavelength. So I want to start with my original equation. This looks like this. S divided by F. There's my equation. To plug in, what is S? The speed of sound is always, it is constant, 340. Divide F. What's the frequency in this question? It's 246. Difficult, but this is the frequency, 246. So in my calculator, I want to do 340 divide by 246, and I get about 1.38. And how did we measure wavelength? Distance. That's meters. Meters with an M. That is question 1. Question 2. Let's try question 2. It says a sound wave has a wavelength of 0.6 meters. Calculate its frequency. I need to write down the equation. What equation I want? That is about what I want to calculate. Frequency, speed, or wavelength. Do I want to calculate for number 2 the frequency, the speed, or the wavelength? What do you think? It says to calculate the frequency. So this is the equation for frequency. F equals S speed divide by, remember this funny little symbol? That's lambda. Difficult. That means wavelength. So S, the speed. What is the speed of the sound wave? It is constant. Always 340. Always constant. Divide by wavelength. What's the wavelength in this problem? 0.6. So in your calculator, you want 340 divide 0.6. And Mr. Thrasher gets a number of, big number, 566.6 approximately. Do you remember the measurement, the unit for frequency? Difficult. That's hertz, Hz. That's the answer for number 2. Okay, now we were writing some sentences. We had these pictures. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sound waves. They have different wavelengths. They have different amplitudes. Do you remember what the amplitude tells us about sound? Do you remember what the frequency tells us about sound? Number 3, here are my waves, A, B, C, D. It is like multiple choice. Which wave is the loudest? Which wave is the loudest? What do you think? The loudest wave has the biggest amplitude. We learned that in an earlier video. Big amplitude, loud. Which wave has the biggest amplitude? That's D. So here's a good sentence. Wave D has, or maybe is the loudest. Let me fix this. Wave D is the loudest. Now, because it has a big amplitude. Your sentence might be a little different. That might be okay. But D is the correct answer for number 3 because it has a big amplitude. Amplitude, loudness, la misma. The same thing. That is number 3. Number 4. What wave has the biggest pitch? Remember, pitch is the same as tone or tono in Espanol. The tone. So a big tone. High tone. This is an example of a high pitch or high tone. Which of these letters has the biggest, highest pitch? A, B, C, or D? The answer is B, because pitch and tone, that's about the frequency. Do you remember frequency? High frequency, low frequency. Look at B. B's going high frequency. So B has the high frequency. So it has a big pitch. So let's see. Wave B has the biggest pitch or tone because it has a the biggest frequency. If you have an answer that says frequency, you probably have a good answer, and your choice is B. B is correct. Okay, almost done. 2 more questions. What color haven't I used? Ooh, purple. Okay, 5. Which wave is the most quiet? A, B, C, or D? What do you think? What wave is the most quiet? The answer is C, because loudness is amplitude. If it's quiet, we want a small amplitude. So C has the smallest amplitude. Okay. So I could write down wave C is the most quiet. It's quiet because it has the smallest amplitude. Okay, there's number 5. One more. We're just about done. Last question, number 6. Which wave has the smallest, or this is kind of like the lowest, low pitch? Or remember, pitch is the same as tone, tono. Which wave has the smallest or the lowest Tone. Tone is based on frequency. If I want a small pitch, I want a low frequency. So like this? No, like this. Ooh, low and slow. Which wave do you think has the smallest frequency? Look at A. Look at A. Nice and slow. B? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Not B. It is A. Difficult. This one is difficult. A has the smallest or the lowest pitch because it has a slow frequency. Okay, last sentence. Wave A has the smallest pitch because it has the smallest or lowest frequency. Okay. Those were the questions and the answers to our homework. So if you were able to check your answers, great. If you got some wrong, well, that's okay. But that's us practicing. Okay, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.